This is Team 4's Exploring Products Report. I'm Holly, and I will be presenting the product information and specifications.
I'm Sai, and I'll be talking about the materials.
I'm John Laris, and I will be talking about the stakeholders.
I'm Ethan Dennis. I'll be presenting electrical engineering and also computer science, as Jua lost his voice right before recording.
I'm Everett Maselli, and I'll be talking about computer engineering.
Chose to do a report on the iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 is an Apple product sold at roughly $250. It is a mobile device capable of cellular and internet connectivity, as well as many complex applications. It is roughly 5 by 2 inches and weighs roughly 4 ounces. It uses an A9 computer chip, a 12-megapixel camera, a 4.7-inch Retina HD display capable of 4K video playback, employs fingerprint unlocking, and comes with the Siri virtual assistant program pre-downloaded. This is a photo of the iPhone which we took apart.
So computer engineering is one of the major engineering disciplines involved in the iPhone 6. It involves both hardware and software development and works closely in conjunction with both computer science and electrical engineering. And one of the major improvements in the iPhone 6 was the improved M8 processor from the M7 processor in the iPhone 5, which included a barometer, which is a atmospheric pressure sensor that can be used to determine altitude, as well as an upgraded iSight camera, which doubled the frame rate from the iPhone 5, as well as improved networking standards, which increased overall performance from the network.
So the materials of the iPhone make it possible so that it can last long and work properly, and it contains mostly transition metals found from your periodic table in order to provide functionality and durability to the product. Some examples are gold never tarnishes, so that helps with the circuitry of the iPhone, and silver, which is a very conductive metal, which also helps with the circuitry. So the materials, they help provide for all the other engineering disciplines by providing the means needed to build those materials and to provide the circuitry, provide the case, etc. And designers at Apple are constantly trying to use better materials while also keeping costs low and delivering high performance.
So computer science is the study of computer and computational systems. They work really closely with computer engineers, but they focus generally more on designing software. So they write code to improve the product's performance and usability. So they designed things like the operating system, iOS 9, that the phone runs on. They design the apps that we use on a daily basis, all the quality of life things that we have. And they continue to work to optimize and improve quality of life and give the phone better speeds and battery life. Electrical engineers work with converting, managing, and transmitting energy, everything dealing with the power of the phone. They work closely with computer engineers when working on electronic components. So they work with chemical engineers to create lithium-ion batteries, which powers the device. Most electronic components deal with managing power, so like the display, the camera, the touchscreen, all those components are based on capacitors, which allow them to function. For example, like a touchscreen is pretty much just a capacitor that, like, if you touch, it induces a current and it detects where you did that. So electrical engineers are continuing to optimize these components and working really closely with computer engineers to do that.
Lastly, we have the three main stakeholders of Apple. We have the consumer, Apple employees, and Apple's competitors. The consumer are the primary external stakeholders of Apple. Apple's corporate responsibility is to deliver products that will satisfy these consumers who, in exchange for an efficient product and an effective product, will provide Apple with financial compensation. Next, we have Apple's employees, who are the primary internal stakeholders. The employees at Apple are tasked with developing and creating products to market to the consumer for monetary compensation. And lastly, we have the competitors, including Samsung, Huawei, Dell, other laptop companies, etc. Apple's competitors are another external stakeholder who bank on being superior to Apple and are in constant competition for the higher market share and a better product. And there's an interesting connection between Apple and some of their competitors. Many of Apple's displays for their phones were sourced by Samsung, one of their direct competitors, as well as LG, another one of their competitors. And lastly, we have our works cited.